I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. On December 10, the church celebrates San Juan Diego, the main character in the apparitions of the Virgin of Guadalupe in Mexico between December 9 and 12 in the year 1531. He was an indigenous man born in Cuautitlan, the kingdom of Texcoco, in 1474, a region inhabited by Chichimeca ethnic groups. His name in the Aztec language was Cuauhtlatocin, which means he who speaks like an eagle. The Franciscan fathers arrived in Mexico in 1524, and Juan Diego, as an adult, attracted by the doctrine they taught, along with his wife and his uncle, were the first indigenous people to be baptized in what is now Mexico, that was called before New Spain, under the names of Juan Diego, Maria Lucia, and Juan Bernardino. There is a book called the Nican Motepana, written in 1590 with a series of very important and specific data about the life and death of Juan Diego, as well as many miracles that God performed through Our Lady of Guadalupe in the first years after the apparition on Tepeyac Hill. According to the Nican Motepana, Juan Diego's wife died 2 years before the apparitions of the Virgin Mary. When Juan Diego was widowed, he developed a taste for walking alone and was called the Pilgrim, since he went back and forth from his house to Tlatelolco to listen to Mass and attend catechism. On December 9, 1531, while he was walking to Tlatelolco, the Virgin Mary appeared to him on Tepeyac Hill, telling him that she was the mother of the true God, and instructed him to tell the Franciscan bishop, Zumárraga, to build a church in that place. The bishop did not believe him, and the Virgin told him, "Insist." When Juan Diego returned, the bishop asked him for objective proof of what he said, and for the fourth time on Tuesday, December 12, the Virgin appeared again, asking him to go to the top of the Tepeyac Hill to collect flowers and take them to the bishop. This is what Juan Diego did, and although it was not time of roses and he knew it, he found a great variety of them and placed them on his mantle, also called tilma. In the house of the bishop, Juan Diego opened his tilma and the flowers began to fall, and the image of the Virgin of Guadalupe began to appear, which has become the spiritual heart of the church in Mexico and a national symbol for all Mexicans, believers or not, which allows the inhabitants of Mexico to feel united under the same identity, even though they are diverse, some are atheists. Juan Diego's life is that of a layman who embraced the Christian message without renouncing his indigenous identity. Once he saw the miracles before his eyes, he dedicated much of his life to prayer, contemplation, and penance. With the permission of the bishop, he began to live in a small house next to the temple that was built in honor of Our Lady of Heaven. There he was in charge of cleaning the temple and receiving pilgrims. He had permission to receive Holy Communion 3 times a week. Juan Diego was distinguished by his moral coherence, his detachment, his generosity, his simple faith, his total trust in God and the Virgin. St. John Paul II canonized him on July 31st, 2002, in the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico, because Juan Diego knew how to discover the profound truth of the new humanity in which we are all called to be the children of God in Christ, and with God we always win.